I'll call back to order the open previous meeting. We have no rise in report. Consent agenda. Would anybody like to call anything out? I'll move the consent agenda. Dr. Max, seconded by Mr. Paddock. Any opposed? Motion carries. Any business arising from the minutes? None. We're on to 7.1. SLRD CEO verbal report. Ms. Paul.
Hi everyone, Heather Paul, CAO SLRD. I have nothing to report today.
CEO from the Village of Pemberton, Ms. Tracy.
Oh, Elizabeth Tracy, CAO Village of Pemberton, and I have nothing to report today.
All right, 7.3, information report, this 2025 first quarter previous financials. Colin, you join us.
Good afternoon, everyone. Colin Hodgins, Acting Director of Finance, SLRD. This report is the first quarter financials for all the PVUS services. I will note that first quarter isn't always the best representation of what the entire year is going to look like. But for most of these services, it is actually just a contribution service with an amount paid out to in quarter three. And for those that have full expenses and operations within the service, all of them are looking on budget so far. So maybe I'll open it up for if there's any specific questions on any of the things in the report.
Questions on the first quarter financials?
I'm fine, thanks.
Nope. All good. I can say the first quarter only tell a small story, so thank you for that. I'll look for a motion to receive. Director Paddock, second by Director Mack. Any opposed? Motion carries.
All right, thank you.
7.4. Approval of revised Pemberton District Initiative Fund.
They're on their way.
Yeah. Good afternoon.
Easy fast.
Yeah. Table's yours when you're ready.
Veronica Reed, Project and Program Coordinator with SLRD. So today we're bringing forward a request for decision for the draft revisions to the Pemberton and District Initiative Fund policy. We brought forward some suggested revisions for discussion at the March committee meeting and board meeting. I could go through the list of revisions again with you guys if you want to hear everything that changed. Okay, great. Okay, so the first item was elimination of the seed funding stream. So no one used it. People found it confusing and we agreed that maybe we don't need it. So we've removed that from the new policy. We've created a shorter one-time application form so that it'll be easier for people just coming in for the one-time funding to still put in an application but not go through all the extra work. So that's included in the new policy, as well as a shortened form for the fee waivers, which is when we're renting rooms at the community center. Before they're doing 7 pages plus that form, so now it's a lot briefer. And the progress report. So every year, the long-term funding have to do a progress report. And so we shortened the progress report just to ensure they're doing what they said they'd do in their original application, give us an updated budget and their plans for the coming year. Before it was as long as the final report, which will remain the same, a little bit briefer for the last year of their funding. We talked about automatic renewals, like those long-term ones that just keep coming back. So that one was decided that maybe not the best to just automatically renew, but have them reapply. As you know, as we see with like Chamber and Tourism Pemberton, things change over the 5 years. Maybe they need more, maybe they need less, and it gives them time to come and talk about their project and reapply and then fit within the financial rules for 5-year budgets. So we didn't add in that extended one, but we can discuss that if you wish as well. And same for longer than 5 years. We sort of just kept it at that 5-year maximum, and they can reapply and go from there. Get a new agreement. And then we also just added some clarification that sometimes SLRD and the Village of Pemberton can apply for funding for certain events, as that wasn't super clear in the policy, but it is now that we're eligible applicants. And then you'll see we sort of just redid the policy a little bit. So there's the main policy that goes over the rules and the guidelines. And then we made 3 schedules, one for one time, one for long term, and one for fee waiver, because they were kind of all mixed up together. So this way, whatever you're applying for, it's one package. So you've got your application, your reporting requirements, everything you need for one time, long-term or fee waiver separate. They want to go dig and find what they need to do. So that should be easy too. When we do our progress reports, just sending that long-term package to all our recipients. And then we also, we have ineligibility if you're already receiving funding to apply for more funding. So we did put an exception in for truth and reconciliation events, if that's what they're applying for, that is an eligible application. And then again, there are times when the committee and board can decide at their discretion to make those changes as well for ineligible and eligible one-time funding. And then as suggested, we did increase the maximums of the funding for one time to 7,000 and for long-term to 15,000 per year. And that is the summary of our changes.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah.
Questions? With regards to number 10, nope, that's 9.
9, yeah.
In terms of reapplying, or if you've already.
Yeah,
Do you realize, for like, I know we had a conversation in one of the last meetings about pick a community group, they pick their annual budget and then all of a sudden an opportunity comes up for them and it might be matching funding to go after.
Yeah.
Which would bring a special cool event to the community. Do we have the ability to exempt them and give them a second?
yeah, so you have the ability to, exempt these items in the policy, and we can change that to say that we can remove that if you'd prefer in the policy, because we do have that a lot, I feel like, where people are receiving long-term funding and they do come for one-time funding. I'd say that's our main exception to the policy right now. And it did say ineligible and we left it ineligible to keep applying, but that is something we could make a change to if you'd like.
I just want people to, like, I don't want it to open the door for.
Right.
I don't wanna say abuse of the.
Yeah.
Or over application, but like we both just said, that we see groups do their long-term planning and then some opportunity comes out.
Yeah.
And this group wants to support it. But yeah, so as long, I guess I want it to be clear for people that can happen, because we do get that question.
Yeah.
Every now and then too, outside of here, so. Yeah, I don't know if the best thing is to remove that or just to make it clear that somewhere in there, for people that can let them know that there is the opportunity. For one time.
The one time, because we can just, we can remove the ineligible. I mean, it's still at your discretion to approve it or not. When they come forward for the one time, it's not guaranteed.
Right,
But yeah.
no, thoughts?
Well, I agree with what you're saying. Just to make sure that it's abundantly clear on what's there.
Yeah, so Veronica's suggesting maybe we could either just remove the ineligibility out of there entirely, or we add on so that it's clear. Do you think, I guess that this is a tester too, if we find that people are over applying because we've removed that ineligibility, we could look at it again next year.
Yeah, and you can also still not approve the application if it doesn't seem right.
Right.
Something that you want to be approving in the end.
Okay, well, any other thoughts on what you've seen? Looked at this a couple times too. I feel like this is hopefully streamlined for you, for staff, and for people and for those that apply, so. Would somebody like to make a motion to approve it with the change, with the removal of the ineligibility for a second application? Director Caddick, second by Director Mack. Opposed, motion carries. So thank you. Well, decision on late business, great business, there's a motion adjourned. Mark, second by Director Caddick, any opposed, adjourned.